My name is Valeriia Cherednychenko. I'm 40 years old and I'm originally from Ukraine. I've been in the US for 14 months, so a bit over a year. I'm a humanitarian parolee. When the war in Ukraine started on February 24th of 2022, my husband and I took our 4 daughters and we escaped Kiev, the capital of Ukraine. We traveled for 4 days to get to the border with Slovakia, a trip that would usually take 11 hours. And then for the next 3 months, we stayed in Slovakia, close to the border of Ukraine, waiting for the war to end. However, after 3 months, it was clear that it was not going to end this soon. So we needed to make a decision what we're going to do with our lives next. And during that time, United States started a program for Ukrainians, the humanitarian parole. And we have a friend in Nashville who proposed to us and kind of talked us into coming here. And this was a great idea for us because my husband and I already spoke English, our kids spoke a little English, so this gave us hope that we would find new jobs here in the US and that our kids would be able to go to school without having to learn a whole new language from scratch, as they would have needed to do if we stayed in Europe. So we decided to give it a try. That's how we ended up here in Nashville. Well, we have been to the US before. I was an exchange student when I was in high school. And we have friends here, as I already mentioned, so we visited several times. But coming to stay here and trying to start a new life here is very different from just coming to visit. So it was very difficult at first. We didn't know what documents we needed to get. Finding a place to live was very difficult. We did not have any credit history here or any knowledge of what needed to be done for humanitarian parolees. Catholic Charities helped a lot with applying for us for benefits and helping us financially in that way. Our friends helped us with finding a place to live, so slowly life started to get on track, and thankfully we were able to find jobs. Eventually our kids started school and they're doing great right now. Our youngest daughter, who barely spoke several words in English a year before, now speaks it fluently. Transportation is a big issue. Even though I had a driver's license in Ukraine, I basically never drove.
Yeah.
We have a very good public transportation system, but here I needed to learn to drive again. To get a driver's license, we needed to find cars very soon, and that was a big issue and a challenge for us. Life seems to be a lot busier here in the US than it was in Ukraine. I think that it is a big challenge. Even with us, for people who already speak English and who have been here before, it has been a challenge. So I am really inspired by people who don't speak English and still come here and still are full of courage to start a completely new life. Well, I am inspired by these people, and having worked just a little bit for Catholic Charities for several months, I have met people from different countries. So it's amazing to hear their stories. Even though I have worked with refugees before in Ukraine, I have not met these many refugees, so it is inspiring to learn about different cultures, about what is happening in their home countries, and to know that Ukrainians are not the only ones who are facing challenges right now. Initially, refugees do need help, and they do need support from the community. However, refugees are actually a great asset for the community, for the economy, and if the community tries to invest in the future of these refugees and people coming, immigrants, then they can actually help to improve life.